define Romanticism, consider the social and historical factors that led to Romanticism, identify significant Romantic poets and authors, identify the major characteristics of Romantic literature, link Romanticism and Transcendentalism, and define the Byronic Hero.
This is the story of man's escape from the shackles of commerce and industry to the freedom of nature. At a time when the world was becoming increasingly mechanized, the Romantics sought an intense relationship with the natural world. In so doing, they would revolutionize our perception of life itself.
So what led to Romanticism? Romanticism began roughly around the time of the start of the French Revolution in 1789, and it finished around 1850. Romanticism was a reaction against the Industrial Revolution and the Enlightenment. To be a Romantic is to take the side of nature against industry. The Romantics viewed cities as grimy, ugly, and soulless. In William Blake's poem Jerusalem, he links the Industrial Revolution to the ultimate evil, the devil. And was Jerusalem builded here, among these dark satanic mills? The Romantics challenged the scientific, sociological outlook on life that was promoted during the Enlightenment. In particular, the Romantics disagreed with the Enlightenment's values of progress and rationality, especially progress as defined by technological advancement and urbanization. And just a quick definition of sociology, which is the study of social behaviour or society. So I've whipped up a quick table for you to look at to measure the Enlightenment against the Romantics. The Enlightenment was all about reason. In contrast, the Romantics were about passion and emotion. The Enlightenment about human nature, the Romantics about nature itself. The Enlightenment was man overcoming nature. The Romantics was about nature being more important than man. The Enlightenment were about material possessions. The Romantics were more about spiritual. The Enlightenment was about laboratory observation. The Romantics were more about intuition and insight. So here is a very brief sample of Romantic poets. There are lots more that I've missed out. But William Wordsworth, Lord Byron, John Keats, Christina Rossetti, all very important Romantic poets. So some Romantic authors, again, obviously there are lots more, but some important ones were Charlotte Bronte, Mary Shelley, Anne Radcliffe, and Emily Bronte. So what characterises Romantic literature? Romanticism is characterised by its emphasis on emotion, the purity of childhood, the glorification of the past and critique of progress, absolute truth, and the deification of nature. Wordsworth summed up the importance that the Romantics placed on emotion when he said that poetry began as the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings, which the poet then recollects in tranquility. Caspar David Friedrich, a German painter, also championed the idealization of emotion when he said, "The artist feeling is his law." The purity of childhood. The importance of a happy and playful childhood was a belief that developed during the Romantic period. William Blake championed the innocence and spiritual purity of childhood. In the 19th century, some working-class parents sold their sons. These boys, aged between 4 to 7 years, would become chimney sweeps, which was a miserable work. Many of the sweeps became deformed or were killed due to their work. The glorification of the past and critique of progress. The cult of the Middle Ages is a significant theme in Romanticism. Romanticism revived elements of art and literature perceived as authentically medieval in an attempt to escape population growth, early urban sprawl, and industrialism. The Romanticist is on a ceaseless quest for absolute truth. As discussed, Romanticism was a movement away from the objective truths of science towards the more subjective truth of art. Ultimately, the Romanticist would discover truth in nature.
There is a pleasure in the pathless woods. There is a rapture on the lonely shore. There is society where none intrudes. By the deep sea and music in its roar. I love not man the less, but nature more. From these our interviews, in which I steal from all I may be or have been before, to mingle with the universe and feel what I can ne'er express, yet cannot all conceal.
Transcendentalism was a branch of Romanticism. It was a philosophical movement that developed in the late 1820s and 1830s in America. Transcendentalists believed in the inherent goodness of both people and nature. They believed that society and its institutions ultimately corrupted the purity of the individual, and had faith that people are at their best when truly self-reliant and independent.
I went to the woods because I wanted to live deliberately. I wanted to live deep and suck out all the marrow of life.
I'll second that.
To put to rout all that was not life, and not when I had come to die, discover that I had not lived.
The Byronic Hero is a character based simultaneously on Lord Byron's writing and his own character. The traits that characterise a Byronic hero are a dislike for social institutions, an exile, an outcast or an outlaw, arrogance, cunning and an ability to adapt, cynical, dark attributes not normally associated with a hero, disrespectful of rank and privilege. The Byronic hero is also emotionally conflicted, moody, high level of intelligence and perception, mysterious, magnetic and charismatic, the power of seduction and attraction, self-critical and introspective, self-destructive behaviour, socially and sexually dominant, sophisticated and well-educated, struggles with integrity, and has a troubled past. And look, a Byronic hero doesn't need to have all these characteristics. They may just have a few of them, but these are different characteristics that make up a number of different Byronic heroes. So, you've made it. Look, let's just go back and cover the key points of the lesson. Romanticism is roughly the period between 1789 and 1850. Romanticism was a reaction against the Industrial Revolution and the Enlightenment. To be a Romantic is to take the side of nature against industry. The Romantics disagreed with the Enlightenment values of progress and rationality, especially progress as defined by technological advancement and urbanisation. Romanticism is characterised by its emphasis on emotion, the purity of childhood, the glorification of past and critique of progress, absolute truth, and the deification of nature. Transcendentalists believed in the inherent goodness of both people and nature. They believed that society and its institutions ultimately corrupted the purity of the individual, and had faith that people are at their best when truly self-reliant and independent. The Byronic hero was a mysterious, brooding anti-hero. And that's it. You've made it. We're at the end of the lesson. Look, thank you so much for watching and listening. Look, I hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and I hope it's been interesting and educational. If you did enjoy it and you would like to subscribe, you can press on the bottom right at the button there. We will be bringing out more similar videos in the very, very near future. And yes, thanks again for watching.